They scrambled to protect the president during a scare in Seattle. Tonight, KOMO 4's Eric Johnson gets an up-close look at the jets providing security in the sky.
Well, it took a visit from the president and a thunderous boom to get most of us to realize that when it comes to fighter jets and defending our resources from the air, the state of Washington has always depended on the kindness of neighbors.
It's August 17th. President Obama waves to crowds in Pioneer Square before grabbing lunch. Minutes later, a thunderous noise rips across the Seattle sky, rattling windows and nerves and sending shockwaves through the region. It was captured on home video all the way in Centralia. We later learned it was a sonic boom caused by two F-15s going at a supersonic speed at low level. The alert turned out to be nothing, a float plane pilot who didn't know about the temporary flight restriction that day. But for many it was an eye-opener. We learned that if Seattle is ever attacked, our main protection wouldn't come from Joint Base Lewis-McChord, it wouldn't come from Fairchild in Spokane or NAS Whidbey Island. Those places simply don't have fighter jets. Our coverage would come from this place, the Oregon Air National Guard just outside of Portland.
Our primary mission here, the 142nd Fighter Wing, Oregon Air National Guard, is defenders of the Pacific Northwest. We like to think of ourselves as your hometown Air Force.
There are 19 fighter jets here, all of them F-15s. There are 1,000 guardsmen and women ready to go at any time.
So our area of responsibility would be right on the Canadian-U.S. border, and then all the way further south to the northern reaches of California.
Every day, fighter pilots here prepare for a life and death test that they hope never comes.
Well, it's an awesome responsibility, you know, and I think and it's a privilege.
They put on their G-suits.
Fields black out, and that's what this prevents. It reminds us to breathe properly.
And the rest of the gear that could save their lives while they're saving ours.
And our harness, which this connects to their parachute, which is built into the airplane.
Next is a briefing.
Weather at K Falls is brilliant. It's 10 sessional visibility.
And then it's off to their aircraft. The preparation to fly a $35 million airplane is meticulous. Everything is looked at. Fuel, weapons, systems are checked and rechecked. The gear is gone over one final time. The Oregon Air Guard has stood alert since 1953, but 5 years ago it was earmarked to shut down because of budget cuts, and it almost happened. One problem though, Washington and Oregon would have been left naked in the event of an attack. The closest fighter jet coverage would have been Fresno, California.
When the President's BRAC Commission reviewed all of the data, they just like to, we can't do that. We can't dismantle the defense of this corner of the U.S. because we're the only game in town.
This is what's called the alert barn. It's like a fighter jet fire station. If an emergency alert call is made, say from Seattle, the lights would go on, the doors would go up. Inside are two F-15s that have already been fueled and checked. They are ready to fly immediately, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The pilots would scramble.
It's almost like the actions of a pit crew in an Indy race type of thing. It's very quick, it's very scripted, it's always the same.
You see the pilots running out, the crew chiefs are running out, you know, it's very well choreographed. We practice it all the time because it has to be flawless execution when time is of the essence to get airborne.
From the time they get the call to the time they take off, less than 5 minutes will have elapsed. Inside of 7 minutes, they would be soaring past Mount St. Helens. They would be over Seattle in 13 minutes, which is exactly how long it took the day the president was in town. The F-15 is one of the finest fighting machines in the world. In more than 100 skirmishes, no F-15 has ever lost a dogfight. It was designed to maintain air superiority, and if need be, it could do that here within a matter of minutes. After 9/11, the Oregon Air Guard put aircraft in the sky round the clock for several days straight. Lance Pirak from Seattle was one of those pilots.
You are paying for us to do this, you know, and it is our privilege to perform this service for you and protecting America.
So when you hit the pillow at night, rest easy, Seattle. While you sleep, they don't. In the event of an attack, Washington is covered by Oregon.
And we would stop all training, all other missions, to defend Seattle if that's where we needed to defend as our primary goal.
They are impressive. The people we talked to at the Oregon Air Guard say they have a very strong understanding of the infrastructure of Seattle and its surrounding area. They know where the likely targets are, and they're extremely confident that in just a matter of a few short minutes, if things got nasty, they would have our backs. Eric Johnson, KOMO 4 News.